hear me, but I'm gonna start it in just a couple seconds, or I'll give you kind of like a little countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Stop it, dude. I'm gonna click the scene. Here we go. Hello. I was muted. Hello. Welcome to the Bro Talk podcast. This is where we talk about video games. All right, we're going to talk about a lot about video games and tech in the world today. We're going to talk about some pop culture stuff because who doesn't love some drama? And we're going to talk about some good news in the world. Not some bad news, not stupid stuff, good stuff that makes you feel good, or at least hopefully lifts your spirits. My name is Dan and I am your host. I am here with a big hairy man, Tim. Tim, say
Hi,
something.
I'm the big hairy man named Tim.
Couldn't think of anything else. We have the and because we're missing one person, we have the forever 12-year-old Grant. Grant, say
That's
hi.
me.
That is Grant, and we are your bros, and we're gonna bring you some news. I'm gonna turn the music off now. Music shouldn't even be on. So, we have a lot to talk about today. There's a lot of stuff that is going on in the world today, and as everyone knows, Dr. Disrespect is banned from Twitch. Now you're probably saying, bro, who cares? Who cares about Dr. Disrespect? His ban happened almost a month ago. We haven't heard anything. What the heck is going on? We have some news. There's some stuff that's been coming out recently. He even actually did an interview, which is pretty big. So, Tim, tell me what you know about Doc. Tell me what you like about Doc. Tell me anything you want to say about him and some speculations on the ban.
Well, honestly, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going around from, you know, the, the bad allegations all the way to just like random Twitch has it out for random dudes, whatnot. So, I mean, things that I like about Doc, I love his character. I love the whole aspect of how heated he is all the time. Like 110% over the top as a character while he's playing video games. I love it. Like, yeah.
Grant.
What I think is interesting is that there are a lot of allegations and a lot of people speculating about what happened, but I don't think that it's just random, because I think if it was random, Dr. Disrespect would have said something about it. He would have been like, "What the heck?" Like, he would have been a lot more confused than he is. Instead, he's silent. I think he knows what he did, and he's just trying to move on and let it blow over, while he finds a new platform to go off. Because I just feel like he's way too quiet for it to have been random targeting him. Like, I think he knows that he did something wrong. He just wants to let it go.
Well, I think it's interesting that you say that because, I mean, there's of course something that happened to lead to the ban. It's not like, you hit start stream, you play some video games, you say a few bad words, people throw you money because that's his job. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, crap, I'm banned. There's clearly something that happened. A lot of people have started to speculate, is it sexual assault? Which could be the thing, but there has been a few tweets from big names of the Twitch, I guess, corporation as a whole. They said, no, it's not that, but they can't talk about it. They can't talk about it at all, so that makes people believe that it is something along the lines of some serious legal stuff. There has been numerous people that have come out to say what I just said, legal stuff, can't talk about it, it's on the hush-hush, but Doc himself said that there is not any sort of anything that has been said to him. He's totally in the dark. So what you said, Grant's kind of interesting along the lines of he might know what's going on, but he doesn't know if that's the reason. Now, there's something that is really interesting, and I've heard a lot of people speculate about this. A lot of people say, hey, what are your thoughts on Doc? Oh, blah, blah, blah. I heard one person, Dan's Gaming, he said that there's a lot of leaks in the online world, right? You have lots of game leaks, you have lots of art leaks, from video games, music leaks, movie leaks, but nothing has been leaked about Doc in any way, shape, or form about this thing. So a lot of people are saying that it has to be incredibly, incredibly bad for nothing to have been leaked. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that, like, yes, it has to be something bad, but I don't think that. I think that it is very personal and very private, whatever it is, because I don't necessarily agree that it would have been something bad for it to not be leaked. Because I think the worse it is, the faster it would have been leaked. Just because of, like, I mean, he has such a huge fan base. People would have been sharing that if anyone knew anything about it. So I think that he knows what's happening. I think that maybe, I mean, it's bad enough to get banned, whatever it is. And so I don't think that it's that he, I don't, I would just disagree with part of what you said about it being that it's something really bad for it to not be leaked, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I feel like it's not like super bad. I feel like it may have been something along the lines of, didn't he like earlier this year just sign a contract or whatever with Twitch for a few years or whatever for quite a
Yeah.
bit of money? I wonder if there was something in that contract that he breached.
Which could be super serious because he's even talked about taking legal actions.
Mhm.
So maybe there's something in the contract on both his side and Twitch's side. No one really knows though, because I mean we do have some idea of what's going on because, like I said, he had an interview and I couldn't find the article again, so it's just kind of hearsay at this point. But he changed his Twitter like about thing to, instead of having Twitch, was YouTube. So I'm wondering if he's going to then potentially try and use this as some sort of, whatever. You remember a couple of years ago when he cheated on his wife and then he made this huge thing and came back. He was huge, blew up. I wonder if he's going to try and use this situation to kind of do that same thing, except on a different platform. Something to think about.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be something that's going to happen. I mean, I remember watching the video of him where he was crying and whatnot. He was so just talking about like how he cheated on his wife and whatnot, that fun stuff. Not fun stuff, but
Dang it, Tim!
about how he cheated on his wife and all that stuff. And what, didn't he take like a 2-month hiatus or whatever, or 3-month hiatus?
And 2 or 3 months, yeah.
And then he just came back like out of nowhere, and it was, I think, one of the biggest days on Twitch that I've ever seen. Like, the doc was back. So I think you're right. I think you're gonna use this as a way to leverage more viewers. The longer he's away, I feel like the more people are gonna be talking about it, more people are gonna be speculating about it, and then with the legal action, I feel like maybe Twitch did something and broke a contract, or like you were saying, a little bit of both. One party broke contract. I don't know. It's just a whole mess.
You're not wrong.
I've never really followed Doctor Disrespect like at all. Especially the last couple of years, I've kind of been out of the whole picture for everything. But I don't know. That's pretty interesting that you mentioned that he already had a hiatus like this. And there's an article that I'm looking at right now that mentioned that in some sort of, I'm not sure if it was an interview or just something that he said, but it says that it seems content creator is focused on evolving the character and launching a Doc 3.0. So I guess after that first hiatus would have been 2.0, and this would be 3.0 when he comes back.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting to just to see where he goes in terms of blowing up his brand, because I don't know if you guys watched, especially towards the end of, I guess you could say, Doc 2.0. I don't know, that sounds weird to say, but at the end of it, his graphics were insane. He was pretty much building like an empire out of all these graphics and whatnot, and his brand. So it'll be interesting to see uh, what happens. But any closing thoughts on that?
I mean, there was during like his last stream. I don't know what was going on or whatever, but like the last 8 minutes of his last stream were pretty sus. Like, what was it?
Sure.
Actually, it was just like the last 5 minutes or whatever. Telling his audience about these are some weird times we're living in. We're gonna make it through it or whatever. Like whatever. I don't know if that was character or if he knew something was going down. So,
I mean, there was body psychology, people looking at it, and like he was like receiving messages and things that he was looking at and looking pretty nervous. I think he knew that his stream was about to get shut down, but the reasons, I mean, again, we won't know for sure unless he decides to put that out there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. Like y'all said, it's kind of all speculation at this point. So anyone's guess is as good as someone else's until we actually hear something from the man himself. But let's move on from that. Let's talk about games that we're playing. Grant, tell me about anything that you're playing right now. I know you just got a new PC not too long ago. So is there anything you're really like delving into?
The first game that I ever played on PC was actually the first Torchlight. My brother-in-law introduced me to that, and then just recently I saw that Epic Game Store had Torchlight 2 for free. So in about 4 days, I actually beat that last night, and I enjoyed it a lot, but it was really anticlimactic. The very end just kind of like, I mean, Tim was in the Discord, and I was like, oh, so I beat the game. Because I didn't actually know until I like figured it out for myself. I was like, oh, so that was the end. So I enjoyed the game overall, and it does allow you to go back with everything that you currently have and replay everything, if you want to. But it's just one of those games that I don't know if I'd be that interested in going back. I've also been playing a lot of Ark, and that's been fun. Although I'm a little cheater head, and I've been using a lot of cheats in creative mode just to kind of have fun with it.
Torchlight 2 is free on the Epic Game Store until the 23rd of July, by the way, in case you want it. Anyway, Tim.
I've been playing a couple different games. Just got into Destiny 2, mainly because it's free.
Good game.
And
Good
some
game.
people had peer pressured me into playing it eventually. Not gonna name name. And
Guilty.
then also, with Ubisoft doing their Ubisoft Forward or whatever, I'm guessing they've been doing some sort of sale. I picked up Division 2 on PC, and I'm finally giving that a proper run. So, I think the deluxe edition on Division 2 was $28, $30-some, whatever. So, I mean, finally giving that a proper run.
It's a fun game. I did enjoy playing the Division 2 when it came out. I got it for free when I got my graphics card, and I enjoyed it. But when you got to before any of the DLC and stuff, but when you beat the game and got to the end game, it was very underwhelming. I wasn't a big fan. But I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 as well. That's literally the only thing I've been grinding with my work schedule and how everything, kind of, puts on me in terms of life. I just really don't have a ton of time. So I've just been grinding out a lot of Destiny 2. I've been recently, and by recently I mean like today, I've been playing Warzone again with my brother just because he wants to play, even though I hate it. I don't like Warzone at all. I feel like it's such an awfully made. It's so bad. Like, let's just talk about. I like multiplayer. Warzone feels like crap. It feels so bad. It feels like it's put on a different engine, and I hate it. It's not very good. It's fun to just like mess around in, but like there's a lot of problems with it. In all seriousness, there's a lot of server lag, a lot of desync. I feel like something's been going on, like really, really, really bad with it. I don't know what it is. But other than that, that's about all I've been playing. I haven't really touched anything else because, like I said, I don't have a ton of time. Anyway, speaking of time, we're segueing into the next thing. Tim, tell me about the Xbox consoles.
The Xbox. Oh, the Xbox console. So, what was the Xbox Series, or what is it? The Xbox One S digital is been announced as being discontinued, along with, I believe, the Xbox One X. I think those are the only ones that are being discontinued right now, so I think it's going to be just like when the Xbox Series X comes out, it's going to be literally just the Xbox S and Xbox Series X. So,
okay,
as far as I know.
Why do you think that? Do you think like they're trying to stop manufacturing those to prepare for the new ones, or what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I think it's all about sales. I think if they have the Xbox One X, they're not going to sell as many Xbox Series X's. Because, I mean, why
Okay.
would somebody buy an Xbox Series X if it's only going to be a minuscule upgrade for $200 more?
True.
So, like, I mean, me personally, I have an Xbox One X. I feel like I'm probably just going to upgrade to the Series X when it comes out, but I'm going to ditch the X. I'm going
Okay.
to toss the X to the curb. And then I feel like the Xbox One S digital, I don't think that's selling as well. So I feel
Yeah.
like they're just killing it off. I don't know. I haven't seen the sales numbers or anything like that, but I feel like as a console, something that is completely digital is like, for me, it's a no go because 9 times out of 10, a console is going to be in the living room. It's like a family device. So a lot of kids stuff like got Blu-rays, DVDs, and stuff. They're going to like the entire time. I don't think a lot of people have made the transition completely over to an all digital library quite yet.
I do know that there's a lot of big names that like IGN and stuff that swear by discs still. They're just like, I need my discs. It's like a what is it called? Oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank. It's like a addiction almost. Is that
Yeah,
is that the right term?
yeah, I feel like it would be the correct term. It's
Yeah.
like an addiction, or even
Yeah.
like a lot of people that I know of that are like collectors or whatnot. They collect discs for the cases and everything like that.
Collectors.
Collect,
Collectors.
collect
Yeah, true.
I mean, I think that this is kind of a genius business move. I mean, if you want a digital version, with the Xbox Series X, there's going to be a digital version of that that's like half as tall. It's just this tiny little cube. And if you want the full version, like the price difference to go from whatever you have now up to the Series X, it's not that bad. Supposedly, they're going to be having the price be really decent and making up for their loss on the price by gaining more money from games, I guess.
Hmm.
As far as what I've heard,
Yeah.
as well as like you have the series or the One S is actually what I had and have, and I've had that for a few years. And if someone's looking at buying an Xbox, I feel like what they would be looking at is either the Series X as one of the newer generations, or the newest generation, or the One X. They're not really going to be looking that much at the One S anymore, since that is now 2 generations behind. I think that if anyone is looking at it, it'll really push their sales in November for the brand new console rather than people going after a slightly older one.
Okay. It's just kind of funny to me how like people are speculating for price right now because everyone's just like, oh yeah, I think it's gonna be $200. Some people are like, oh, I think it's gonna be $500. I'm like, bro, no one knows right now. No one knows. People are even trying to speculate the PS5's price. Not to go down that rabbit hole. It's just kind of funny to me how everyone's trying to say, oh, they're gonna do this. I do think though that it would be smart for them to have it be a lower cost console because then more people are gonna buy it and then sell more games. And here's the thing, a lot of people are talking about raising video game prices from $60 to $70 new just because of like inflation and everything. You can go read like articles and crap about it where it says like $60 when video games were originally priced at $60 like years and years and years ago. Um, like it's nothing compared to what it's priced now. So like right now, a $60 game when they first changed it, I think it was like 90s, early 90s maybe, it'd be comparable to like 100 and something dollars today, like $110, something crazy. So like to get a $60 game is really good. So people are thinking that the price is going to go up. And so if the price goes up, I can see then a console, a new Xbox costing what, $400, $399. I'm pretty sure that's what the original new Xbox, the Xbox Loop-de-Loop, whatever the frick it was called, Xbox One, Xbox One. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. That one was originally $400, I think.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I'm kind of excited to watch the whole thing, unfold in a couple days whenever they do their reveal, their like E3-esque press conference without actually going to E3. But yeah, Grant, tell us about some of the games that Xbox is going to be potentially showcasing in a couple days.
I mean, the biggest one that people have been looking forward to for ever since it was announced, but even before that, is Halo Infinite. And as an original Xbox and Xbox 360 and now Xbox One user, I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, even as a PC user now, since it'll be there too, I'm just excited for Halo Infinite. I really don't know that much about too many of their other upcoming games, but Halo Infinite looks like it could either be really good and take us back to the roots, take us back to what we enjoyed with the first few Halos and Halo Reach. Um, since we don't really want to talk about Halo 5 or whatever the last couple have been.
Those were nightmares.
Yeah, those were
Those are
kind of
bad.
rough. But it
They're
looks
not
like
good.
it could be, it could take us back to the roots, or it could flop completely with how much hype it has had. I feel like it could go either way, and I'm excited to see which one it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Halo Infinite. I mean, I haven't played through any of the Halos whatsoever, so I have an entire back catalog of games that I have to go through before I can even play Halo Infinite. So, and then I guess I'm gonna have to go through a couple crappy games according to Grant and you. So, but I mean, I'm kind of
Well, I
excited
mean, like
for
here,
it.
so here's the thing. I wouldn't say that the Halos were bad. Like the stories were pretty decent. Let me take that back. The Halos were bad. The stories weren't too bad. It's just like the gameplay and stuff felt super like I don't know. It didn't feel like Halo. It felt like
Yeah.
some newer like space shooter, if you will. The stories were really good. I remember the end of Halo 4, and I was like, ugh, like I got hit in the heart. Like, oh my gosh, like Cortana, no. So I'll be interested to
No
see what
spoilers.
happens with this new Halo game. But you don't have to worry, Tim, about like freaking 4 or 5. They were pretty trash. You could probably watch a YouTube video if I'm being honest. You don't have to
Yeah, just
worry
read a
about playing them.
summary.
Exactly.
No, I have to experience it. Like I have to. I can't just go in being unaware of what's going on without
Well,
experiencing it firsthand.
I actually heard that I mean like this is kind of a little detour but I actually heard that Halo Infinite is going to be more open world. I heard that it's going to kind of be like ODST a little bit. Remember how ODST was kind of like you're on a map and you plop on the map and then you have to go to these different, I don't know, landmarks, if you will, and then it starts the mission. I think that's what Infinite's kind of gonna be like, from at least what I've heard. Again, we have no sort of anything about it, not a ton of leaks in terms of what it's going to be. We just have it confirmed to be at the show, so it'll be interesting to see what it is. There's a ton of other games that are more than likely going to be talked about. People are suspecting, like, for example, Battlefield 6. There's a bunch of indie games that I've never heard of. Like, what the heck is Bright Memory Infinite or Demon Turf? I don't know. I haven't heard of anybody. Whatever. Dirt 5 is apparently coming. You know, of course, you're probably going to get your FIFAs and your Madden, you know, and all these other sports games. There's another one coming out that I saw. Gears of War 5 apparently. Hellblade 2. Have you guys ever played Hellblade, the first one?
I have not played Hellblade.
You say that again?
I have not played it. It's a game that I wanted to play, just haven't gotten around to it.
I have people saying in chat that it's a good game,
Good
so I
game?
don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know nothing about Hellblade, so I guess it'll be interesting to see what the second one's about. Um, yeah, apparently the this is kind of funny. The Lord of the Rings Gollum is apparently going to be showcased, so that's going to be interesting. Um, but like I said, I'm really interested though to see just kind of what they bring to the table, because the thing is that Microsoft as a company is very big, but they have flopped a lot in the past when it comes to showcasing games, showcasing consoles, showcasing software, whatever they showcase, it's like 50-50. Like sometimes it's really, really good, and if it's not really, really good, it's really, really bad. So I'm hoping that they do a good job, because this is kind of like, you know, the time. A lot of people are saying that Microsoft has to do really, really well. Otherwise, they're going to flop, because Sony had a really, really good conference. We won't get into that right now, but I'm just kind of curious. What do you hope Microsoft kind of showcases? Let's start with Tim.
honestly, I just want to see the actual hardware in action. Honestly, I mean, we've been talking about the hardware for a little over a year now. We've been seeing some of the games, like Halo Infinite. Not, I just want to see the hardware in action. I want to see some gameplay footage, actual gameplay footage, not doctored up to look like gameplay footage. Remember the whole debacle with Anthem, where it was
Oh
literally,
gosh.
uh, what was it? It was literally played on a PlayStation or whatever, and they just copy pasted the Xbox button over the
Yep.
console, the Xbox.
The game was so good.
I mean,
Well, it kind of was.
I played a little bit of it, then I kind of gave it up. Like, super competitive. I had no to do it, so it's
Yeah.
just gonna be the same thing over and over. It's not
Yeah.
gonna update.
It was a fun game. I'll be excited to see what they do with Anthem 2.0. Anyway, sorry, continue.
I lost my
Oh, rip. Grant.
I mean, like I said before, I don't know much about like Microsoft games or what to expect from this go around. Um, but what Tim was saying with Anthem, though, like I had heard that it was good. Like when it first came out, people were saying it was good, and then by the time I actually had the chance to see if I was going to be purchasing it, I was not hearing the same thing. So I hope that whatever they are releasing, whatever they're going to be announcing, will be consistent, rather than good at the start just because of hype and then kind of
Mm,
sputters out.
mm. You were telling me, Grant, earlier that you read something about Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
So
Because
what I
I don't remember
saw,
what you said.
yeah. So what I saw earlier was that they've apparently taken away the 12-month subscriptions for Xbox Live Gold, and I was looking into it a little bit more, and people are speculating, mind you, that it's because they will eventually, sometime, hopefully soon, make Xbox Live Gold free.
Mm,
I think that the way they would be doing that is because they've been making so much money from Xbox Game Pass being so successful with that, that this is actually an option for them now, um, as a way of kind of substituting the money they were making from Xbox Live Gold and making Xbox Game Pass like one of their big subscriptions and just letting people have Xbox Live for free. I think that would be a huge thing that they could do to compete with PlayStation as well, as far as just making it so that people have more of an interest in switching over. Because I believe that right now PlayStation's online service is limited for free, but I think that if Xbox were to make that full switch and just make it free all around, I think that that would be absolute genius, for their business and for what they're doing to try to help themselves.
mm. Tim, your camera okay?
yeah, it's acting up. Got
That's all good. It's all good. I find it really interesting that they're taking away the Xbox, at least the 12-month cards. I wonder if they're still selling like 3-month and 6-month. But I wonder if what they're going to be doing is trying to combine that service or that like pay, that like not paywall, but that part of like their model, that paid part of their model into the Xbox Games Pass. I wonder if that's what they're going to try and combine because a lot of people like the Games Pass. It's what, $10 a month, and you have a huge library of games, and all you have to do is download it, play it, and when you're done, you're done. You don't have to buy a new game. You know what I mean? So I wonder if what they're going to do is kind of try and meld those together. You know, maybe instead of the pass being like $10 or the Games Pass being $10, it's maybe 15 or 20, which then includes the live. But it'll be interesting to see because when you buy one of the like Xbox Windows games or whatever it is on the PC and you play it on PC, you don't have to have any sort of live. So I wonder if they're maybe just going, like you said, straight to a free model. Tim, you have any thoughts?
Well, that's the thing with the Xbox Game Pass already. It's kind of already melded in with the Xbox Live Gold. That's what I use as my service for playing Xbox games. I mean, the main one that I play is Call of Duty with you guys. And
True.
pretty much, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you have Gold. I personally fork out the extra $5 more for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so I've got PC games as well too that I could be playing. So I don't think they're necessarily going for the free route, but I feel like that is a lot better of an option for Xbox gamers maybe shift gears to get more PlayStation players to come over to the Xbox again. I mean, they were the winners of last gen console. They're not this gen console, but I feel like they're definitely trying to hit hard with next gen console.
True. And wasn't PlayStation originally? Didn't they have like their PlayStation Live service or whatever it was called? Wasn't that free?
Yes, back on the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation Network was free to play for everyone. It was with the transition over to the PlayStation 4 that is when everything got a paid subscription.
Gotcha. So that's kind of interesting that like Microsoft started as a paid service, Sony started as a free service, and now it almost looks like they're flip-flopping. Like Microsoft's going to be free and then Sony's going to be paid instead of starting the other way around. That'll be interesting just to kind of see what they're going to do. I hope that we like I said, learn more about that at the conference. I would assume that they would say something. And then a little quick question, and then we'll talk about stuff that we're looking forward to play. What do you guys think in terms of price the Xbox is going to be? I know I said earlier it's almost dumb to like kind of speculate, but do you think one, they're going to announce the price at this conference for the new Xbox, and two, what do you think it's going to be? Just for fun.
Honestly,
or Tim, go ahead. Sorry.
Honestly, I feel like the Xbox is most likely going to be priced around $400 or $500. I feel like between $450 and $500. Probably $450 for the digital, then $500 for the disc drive. I mean, it's only like what, an extra $50 for like add a Blu-ray player to a product nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think that they're going to announce a price?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're going to announce the price. Decent for them too, because has PlayStation announced their price yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I feel like it would be good for them to list prices now. That way, we can kind of get a general understanding of what we're going to be setting our money aside for and how much we're setting our money aside, especially if it's releasing this holiday season. If it is.
Gotcha. Grant?
Yeah, I think the same as well. That like it's kind of if they want their information to be out before Sony, it's kind of a now or never. You have this big event coming up. You have a great opportunity to not only announce games, but announce your consoles that everyone knows are coming out. Like give out that information so that people can plan on it. If people aren't planning on it like months in advance, especially for something that's going to be, like Tim said, probably around $400 to $500 is where I would put it as well, then they're not going to be interested if you announce it like a month in advance. They need this time to be able to plan for it and to say, hey, I'm going to save, I'm going to put this in, because I mean, realistically, I believe that probably at least about half of the player base is probably people that would need to save for it, not just have that money on hand.
Sure.
Probably people younger, high school, college.
True. It's also something that I think I agree with you guys. I think that it would be smart for them, even given the current time they were in, to talk about price, because you have the price of the console. Let's just say it's $400, $500, like you guys are saying. You have controllers, games, depending on what resolution you want. If you want it to look really good, a new TV. Depending on what your internet's like and you want to play online, new internet. You know what I mean? So it's all these things that are going to add up and add up and add up. And kind of like what you said, Grant, I think it'd be smart for them to announce it just so then you can plan for it. Like I don't have the money to go out. I don't have $500 to go out and buy a new Xbox. Like, I make pretty decent money at my job, but I can't do that. I have tons and tons of bills. I have college debt. I have all this stuff. So it's like, I'm kind of curious to see, what their mindset is behind it, to see if they're actually going to release it. But anyway, enough about consoles, because we probably beat that like a dead horse. What are some what are some of the games you guys are really looking forward to that might be introduced now? Like I sent you that list. Are there any games, even the small, maybe indie ones, that you're looking at? You're like, man, I can't wait to see this. I really want to see Battlefield 6 or Battlefield 20, whatever number we're on.
I mean, with Battlefield in particular, I don't think you can predict the name of it anymore, since they went from like Battlefield, what was it, 3 or 4 to 1 to I don't even know what they were at last.
1, 3, 4, no, 4, 1, 5, then that was it for Battlefield.
So maybe 6 next, maybe 2, who knows? Maybe 13. Just to throw that out there. But like I was watching the Ubisoft Forward event, and I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. So Valhalla is something that I am looking forward to, ready for. My whole body is ready for Valhalla to come out. I don't know if y'all got a chance to play Odyssey, but that was incredible. The scenery was amazing and beautiful, like especially for a video game. Like you get on top of one of those cliffs and you're looking over Greece, and it was like almost surreal to just be able to be like, wow, this is like they put this into a video game. Especially for me, like my first games were Crash Bandicoot on the first PlayStation. So it's like, wow, we've come a long way, and I think they can do a lot with going into like the oh man, I forgot what they're even called, but over in like the Great Britain area and the Viking period of time, I just think there's a lot of potential there to have a game equally as good or better than Odyssey.
Because you got scenery and stuff, you got like actual forests and like fjords and everything, so it'll be interesting.
That's what I was trying to think of as fjords.
Yeah, fjords. There you go.
Yep.
I got you. I got you.
I'm pretty excited for. I'm taking a look at this list right now, and I see Dying Light 2's on there. So, I mean, I haven't gotten around to playing the first Dying Light yet, but I've heard great things about it. Lots of people still play it, from what I know. It just looks like a really fun zombie survival game, like parkour and all that fun stuff. Kind of like a Mirror's Edge mixed with zombies or whatever. So I feel like that'll be a fun game. And obviously Grand Theft Auto 5. Gotta give that another playthrough for the third time on the third console. Exactly. Just gotta smack that thing until it's 6 feet under.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all know it's gonna be successful too, so
yeah.
GTA 5.
It's insane to think that GTA 5 is, when did it come out? Like, was it 13 or 14? Something like that.
I think it was 13. It came out.
Jeez.
It came out on the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe it was in 13.
I think you're right. It's crazy to think that that game is 7 years old.
Yeah.
And it's still coming out. People are still buying it. It's insane.
It's a great game.
It is fun. I love going around and just. I shouldn't say that.
We all know
I'm
it
really,
is. It's okay.
Yeah. He's like. I'm really excited for the Destiny 2 potential. Beyond Light, they're more than likely going to be showcasing more about what that's going to be at this conference, and so I'm excited to see what that is, because like I said, I've been playing a lot of Destiny. It also got delayed. I don't know if you guys know, but the expansion got delayed to like November 10th. It got delayed like 2 months, so it sucks. But other than that, I'm excited for the FIFAs. I like FIFA. I've always liked football. That's what you call it. You don't call it soccer unless you're a pleb. You call it football. So I'm really excited to see that. And apparently we're also going to be getting a showcase of Cyberpunk 77 or 2077. I am really excited for that. The Witcher 3 was one of my favorite games of all time because the story was so rich. There's so much to the story. I loved it. I thought it was great. The combat system was a little clunky, but other than that, like it was a phenomenal game. And so CD Projekt Red has a really, really good track record with me. So I'm really excited to see what Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be like. There's a lot of IGN videos and stuff of people playing the game for like hours, like 4 hours or something like that. And they said that they didn't even pretty much get through like the first like tutorial section. So if they played for that long and they didn't get through like the first like tutorial section, which apparently is like you start out in this area. I'm not going to spoil anything, but you start out, right? And then you have to go through a few things, and then you get to like this boss. And like depending on how you talk to the boss, then reveals more stuff. And that whole part's tutorial, from what I've heard. But I'm really excited to see what that game is going to be like. I'm going to probably no life that. I'll probably honestly take time off work to play that game because of how excited I now am for it. You know, there's just a lot of games coming out. A lot of games that are being speculated, whatever that word is. Like for example, Marvel Avengers is apparently going to be showcased even more. What else is big? Some new Rainbow Six stuff. I think Grant said earlier. Hellblade, like we mentioned earlier. More Sim stuff, like whatever. But anyway, speaking of new games, what about the Ubisoft Forward thing? Are you guys looking forward to any of those games?
As I mentioned, like Valhalla, I played, man, what was it? Watch Dogs 2, and I know that a lot of people didn't really enjoy that, but I did. And so Watch Dogs Legion, I have high hopes for, especially with they made a new system where you can actually build your own team by recruiting people from around the city. And it makes it so that depending on who you recruit, that's what those different abilities that you can use to get into certain locations are. So that looked pretty interesting. One of the things that they actually showcased was that you recruited a construction worker. And so one of his weapons was actually a nail gun that he was using while he was breaking through this big enemy place, and that just looked pretty cool. I mean, I feel like anyone who enjoys video games like that likes the idea of using a nail gun as your actual gun. I mean,
It's pretty
that's
cool.
pretty neat.
Anything else besides Watch Dogs, or are you just excited for Watch Dogs? You're not excited for I mean, you did say Valhalla earlier, but what else did they showcase? Far Cry 6? Excited for Far Cry?
They actually they didn't necessarily showcase it as part of their forward, but their CEO got on at the very end, supposed to be like his closing announcements thing, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, I have this one thing that I totally wasn't planning on," and then just threw out that trailer there. He's like, "Oh, where? This is just my back pocket."
Oh, where did that come
trailer?
from?
So yeah, that was pretty cool, and a lot of people were freaking out about that. I personally like all of the Far Cry games have looked great, especially I mean being from Montana. Wow, I said that weird. Montana, being from Montana and seeing Far Cry 5, like I was excited for it, but I never actually got it, and I never did any gameplay for it. But all of them look great. So I mean, assuming that I will actually get motivated to purchase and play it, I'm excited for that one. But I can't make any promises based on my past track record.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on Far Cry. I played Far Cry 3 through 5, and it's pretty much, to me, it's just the same game reskinned over and over. I mean, granted, they do look good, but the gameplay is super repetitive. It's like, go collect plants, go hunt animals, make your purse bigger.
Your man satchel.
Yeah, your man satchel, make that bigger. But I'm excited for new Rainbow Six stuff. Like, that's something I feel like I got pretty hardcore into the Rainbow Six thing on Xbox One there for a while, and I was playing with a group of like 6 people or whatever, and hop into games, and we'd wreck face. We'd shoot out little pieces in the walls and just wreck people. So, yeah. So I'm pretty excited for the Rainbow Six.
It looks like there are a couple of different. Oh, sorry, Tim.
Go ahead.
It looks like there are a couple of different Tom Clancy games. There's Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, as well as, let's see, what's this one? Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint Resistance.
Okay, yeah. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint Resistance, whatever that long title is. I played, what is it? Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands on the PlayStation 4 for a while. I had a lot of fun with that. I feel like that's a good game. I feel like if you guys haven't given it a run through, you should try it. It's pretty fun. Grant, I know
never got into those games.
Bruh, you're missing out. There's literally like a whole entire what is it? The Predator. They had a Predator like themed mission where you go out into the middle of nowhere, and like you'd hear the Predator just off in the distance doing its little Predator cry, and you'd be like, "What?" And then, like,
Predator, Tim, what'd that sound like?
It sounded like Well, welcome to the stream, guys. My name is Dan. No, no,
You jerk! You jerk! I can't recover.
no.
Can't
But like
recover.
you'd like
Big
go out into
oof.
go out into the woods, and then you'd like hear the predator scream or whatever, and then like you would walk like 60 yards forward, and there'd be like all these dead bodies just laying there without all their skin, kind of like the movie, like the original movie, and then like out of nowhere, like the predator decloaks himself, and you into a big old boss battle with this guy, and he like one shots you. So
Pretty
like,
cool.
no kidding, like you get one shot, then your teammate comes and picks you up, and then you get one shot again. Like you have to know what you're doing during that mission.
Mm.
It's pretty fun.
I'm excited. Go ahead, Grant. Sorry.
So, another thing that they announced was the Hyperscape, which is yet another battle royale, huge genre lately. And I mean, to me, I haven't played either one, but it looks like Fortnite. Like if someone showed me a picture of Hyperscape next to a picture of Fortnite, I probably wouldn't be able to really tell the difference between the two, especially with all the different seasons that Fortnite is going through and all the different characters. Like, I mean, if I'm being honest, it looks like a copy and paste with a little bit of Tron thrown in.
It's kind of cool. I mean, like I never played it. I could care less about BRs at this point. I'm more of just like I'm so tired of BRs because it's the same regurgitated stuff. Like, oh, we added revives. Cool. Your game still sucks. Sorry, I shouldn't say it like that. Your game is probably very good. I just personally don't like it. But it's like you add a new BR, whatever. This one's kind of cool though because you can actually integrate Twitch chat. So like if people can vote on like no gravity and stuff, so then your dude's like floating around, no gravity, or like backwards aim, so like left is right and right is left on your mouse. So you're here trying to aim and it sucks. So it'll be interesting to see how that game takes off because I know that on Twitch it exploded when it first like came out, if you will, like when it was in closed beta. It kind of did the drop thing that Valorant did to where people would watch big name streamers and then you would get a key mail or email to you or something like that, and then you would be able to get in it. But now that it's actually out, I don't see a lot of people playing it. I feel like it kind of flopped like that one Amazon game. What was that really awful Amazon game that came out like a month ago that died instantly? You remember what that's called?
I honestly didn't even know that there
Dead.
was an Amazon game that flopped.
Yeah,
That's apparently how bad it flopped.
I don't remember what it's called. No, it's not Lawbreakers. It's actually wait. You might Lawbreakers. You might actually be right on that one.
Crucible.
No, I think Lawbreakers was way before that. I think Lawbreakers came
Oh
out
no.
a while ago.
Yeah. That was long before it. It was on Steam and it was free. It started with an O, and Amazon came out with it, and they paid like Lupo and like big name people to play this game. And it was really funny because watching them play it, they didn't look like they were having fun. And as soon as they weren't playing it anymore, the game literally died. Like so hard. Like I'm pretty sure Amazon took it off of the like Steam page or whatever to like work on it.
Is
But
it
it was in development for like 4 years.
Is it
I can't remember what
Crucible?
it's called though. Crucible. Yeah, it was called Crucible. There you go.
Yeah.
Damn, that
called
doesn't start with
Crucible.
an O.
Literally just
I'm
Googled
sorry.
Amazon's big flop game, you get Crucible.
Amazon's big flop game. Crucible. That's funny. It actually comes up like that. But yeah, I'm wondering if kind of going back to what Grant said with Hyperscape or Hyperspace, whatever the frick that game's called. I wonder if it's going to kind of die like that just because I don't see a lot of it anymore. And usually Twitch is very, very good at dictating which games are popular and what games aren't because people want to watch those games. And I haven't seen it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But in terms of Ubisoft games, I'm excited for very few of them. I could care less about Watch Dogs, to be honest. The first one sucked. I did not like it. I liked it at the time, but after I beat it and I was looking, I was like, this game wasn't that good. It was very, very simple, very boring. I didn't have a good time. I remember there was this one time I played Watch Dogs and I was doing multiplayer against this other guy, and we were literally in the middle of a field with this like stone concrete slab. And in that game with multiplayer, you would start in like an area and the zone would keep getting closer and closer while you were being hunted. I was being hunted. And so this guy was trying to find me. I would just keep moving around this little tiny concrete block and I won in the middle of this field and he couldn't find me. It was great. Probably thought I was hacking. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to Watch Dogs 2. I'm not really looking forward to Assassin's Creed, even though I mean like I kind of am, but I'm not. because you know, I'm of Nordic descent. All right, I'm part Swedish. I like to brag about that. So it'd be kind of cool just to see, you know, that whole area of the world through at least Ubisoft's like perspective. You know, like when I went to Sweden and stuff, it was really cool. I love to see it. So it'll be really neat to see what they do with Valhalla. There's apparently you can like dual wield shields, so that's gonna be so cool. You know, you're like shield maiden, so like a female warrior, and you got two shields, and you're bashing people's skull in like Captain America style. I think that's gonna be kind of cool.
I don't know if this is how everyone else feels, but what I hate, I shouldn't say hate, but what I don't like about the Assassin's Creed games is the modern day cuts. Every time I was playing Odyssey and it took me to like the Abstergo stuff, I was
yeah.
like, oh man, I have to go through this. Oh man,
Yep.
I have to be this character. Like I just wanted to be um shoot,
Immersed in
Alexios and
the
Cassandra. Like
yeah.
that's all I wanted to be. I just want to be them. I never wanted to come back to the modern day thing. I think that they should actually make that full switch into just saying, you know what, Assassin's Creed is about the Assassins Guild and those people, and leave the modern day stuff out of it. Like I understand that they are still trying to incorporate that, but after Assassin's Creed 3, I feel like their ideas for incorporating the modern day world have been repetitive and just kind of dwindled.
And I understand that because I remember playing it and didn't like it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But like I said, for the most part, I'm not very interested in Ubisoft games. Far Cry 6, I stopped caring about Far Cry after Far Cry 3. Far Cry 4, I try to, I don't know if I should say this, but I tried to get Far Cry 4 or 5, whichever one took place with the blonde-haired dude in like the Himalayas or something like that. I tried to get that and it'll keep crashing on me, so I didn't like it. But that's what I get for yeah. Anyway,
Getting.
moving forward.
Forgetting it.
Yeah, forget it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see, you know, circling back to what we were talking about earlier with Xbox. It'll be interesting to see what games come out. You know, I'm really excited to see what this conference is going to be about. You know, what they're going to show, what they're actually going to, you know, if they're going to give price points, if they're going to give games, you know, it's all up in the air. But it'll be interesting to see what they do because this is like they're make it or break it, if you will, for this start of the generation. Any closing words, Tim?
Yeah, no, I feel like you're definitely correct with the make it or break it statement. Like last with the last console launches, they kind of messed up during their E3 during the launch. They were like, yeah, you have to always be online for your games, or you gotta have the disc. Or once you've used a disc, then that game only belongs to you. You can use that. And then Sony, like literally 20 minutes after watching that, they were probably like, okay, let's go make a quick video. I remember it still to this day watching Sony's launch, and they were like, how do you share games with friends on the PlayStation 4? And literally it was whoever the CEO of Sony's gaming division or whatever hands a game over to his friend. So like
Here you go.
It pretty much like that versus the Xbox, how it was originally. Like they didn't have people selling their used games.
Yeah, it makes sense because they lose out on a lot of money that way, but you know, it is what it is, and money's tight for a lot of people, especially in today's world. So we'll see what it's like. I really hope that you know it goes well for Microsoft because I'm a Microsoft fanboy, so I like their stuff, even though I don't have an Xbox. Anyway, any last words, Grant? Are you good?
I will say that what Ubisoft did after their Forward was a big boy move. During their Forward, which I was watching to try to get like all the rewards, I basically had it up on my computer, and it was like supposed to time how long you watched, but I just had it up and muted in the background while I was doing some other stuff, and it was supposed to like track how long you watched, and depending on how long you watched was what rewards you got. But they had an issue where basically no one could sign in, and they couldn't track it anymore because like the accounts were here and there, and it just wasn't letting you claim your rewards as you were watching. And so basically for the first, I want to say like 2 or 3 days after the Forward, they let anyone who claimed the rewards just get them, whether they could confirm whether they're watching or not. And so I think that was very big of them. I mean, they could have been like some companies would have, and just been like, well, sorry, we couldn't track it, so we'll give you this, but not these. Or They could have,
Mm.
but I mean, it's not going to cost them anything. And one of the rewards was actually Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
You got that for free for watching even a minute. And so I think that was pretty big of them.
That's pretty cool. All right, well, moving on. We're closing towards the end of our podcast, but we here at BroTalk, we want to close on a solid note, on a high note, and so we decided to close on a good news article. I don't even know what you would call it. I guess a good news article. It at least brought a little comfort to me. Um, the coronavirus. Everyone knows about the coronavirus. It kind of sucks, threw a wrench in everyone's life. It's something that people probably hear now and they're like, oh my goodness, not this again. Like, please stop talking about it. Just move on. But this is good news. This isn't bad news. This is good news. A very, very awesome group of people at Oxford University decided that they were gonna, you know what? Let's make a vaccine, dudes. Like, I'm done with this. Let's make a vaccine. They actually started testing it. They made a vaccine. They started testing it on 1,077 people. And they're finding out that all of these people that were injected with this vaccine are actually like positive, or the results are positive, not positive for corona, but the results are positive, like it's working. So it'll be really interesting to see moving forward what this company can do, what this group of people can do, just because I know I want to get back to freaking normal life, or what normal might be. Do you guys have any thoughts?
Personally, I'm cautiously optimistic. Just feels like, I mean, it's a different, oh goodness, it's a different organization and everything. And so, I mean, it's just with the original coronavirus tests, it was, oh, it's positive, like you have corona, but our tests are failing, so you may or may not. And so
Mhm.
I'm cautiously optimistic in that it's the same disease, and so there could be a lot of false positives and negatives still, but it's a different people creating this vaccine, and so hopefully they are correct and everything is working out how they want it to. Because, like you said, it would be nice to be able to get rid of the masks, get rid of the worry, get rid of like all of the issues, the side issues that it's causing, and be able to get back to not only normal life but looking at what's really important. Because I think that it has also taken away a lot of the attention from other things that specifically the US could be focusing on right now.
Mm. Tim?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for masks off. I work in retail, so it's
Mask
kind
off.
of it's kind of a burden to be like under a mask all the time. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but I'm just ready to take it off, ready to get back to life, ready to be able to go to Walmart without having to look at people and cringe if they're not wearing a mask, or I want to be able to go to work and not have to look at people and cringe if they're wearing a mask or if they're not wearing a mask, or I don't want to have a sneeze shield in between me and my customers. I want the one thing that I miss the most is being able to see a customer smile. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
you
Oh,
can't see that with the
Tim.
masks. Like
Yeah.
it sucks. Like
Yeah.
I like knowing that I did my job well, and I can't do that with masks. Like
Yeah. Well, you might not have to wear masks soon, because with the next steps in this trial, to try and actually, uh, um, I should say this. This is the first vaccine that we're getting news of that is actually good, good in like all the terms. Um, More than 10,000 people in the UK are going into testing trials here soon. There's no like for sure time. They're just saying soon. Um, but one of the head dudes who's like heading up this whole, I guess you could call it research, because that's pretty much what it is, said that we have a possibility of getting this vaccine in 2020. So it would be really cool to get this here soon, 2020, early 2021. So it's positive. We're almost in August. If you can't believe it, we're almost in August. So the end of 2020, early 2021 is right around the corner. So hopefully this thing works like everyone's thinking that it will, and we can finally take those stinking masks off. But yeah, hopefully that's a little bit of good news to kind of uh, lift your spirits a bit. Do wear your mask up until the point of we are told that we don't have to wear it anymore. It's not a matter of fact of, freedom of speech or whatever the heck you want to call it. It's literally just being a good person to your neighbor. you know, to the person next to you, the person walking down the street, you know, that might be really, really scared and, you know, immunocompromised. Just wear your freaking mask. Don't be an idiot, please. Like, I don't care about masks, but I wear it because I don't want someone else to worry. You know, I'd rather look stupid, or at least what I think looking stupid is, by wearing a mask, you know, than making someone uncomfortable. So just do it. You know, just do it. Is that easy? Just do it, and then you can smile, and people are gonna be like, "Why do you look like you're squinting?" You're like, "Bro, I'm smiling. I'm smiling, bro." I don't know. Anyway, you guys have any closing thoughts before we end this?
Are we doing the Q&A or no?
Nah, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. We'll incorporate that later.
Okay.
Any closing thoughts about anything that we talked about? Could be Doc, video games, coronavirus. 3 topics.
Doc, video games, coronavirus. Good
Yeah,
news
what a-
about the
what a-
coronavirus.
Yeah, what a podcast talking about Doc, video games, and podcast.
Oh.
Or coronavirus, not podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah,
Other Tim thinks that podcast is too short.
I know. Well, this is our first one. How about this? Other Tim. This is our first one, so we're looking at it as kind of like a test run, if you will. So it'll definitely be longer. We wanted it to be about an hour and a half or so. So I think going about just about an hour is good for our first one. I think that's a good one. I think it's good. So unless if you
And
guys want to do
also-
Q&A or something else, unless you have something else to talk about, I think we're good here.
I mean,
So.
and if anyone who's watching or wants it to be longer has any ideas for like subjects, like things you want us to do on stream or talk about, anything like that, like let us know for sure. We're definitely open to suggestions, especially
truck
Tim with
around
his
there.
eyebrows going on over there.
Oh yeah, look at those seductive eyebrows. Yeah, now Grant, you just need to do your weird tongue thing. Please don't actually. Anyway.
Grant, do your weird
And
tongue
do a
thing.
game show. Hey, I was actually thinking about doing that, but I don't have
Game
any
show.
material. So we'll do that. We'll do that next week. That's a good idea, Tim. We'll do a game show. I'll be your host, and I'll make you guys really rack your brain about some knowledge. It'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, trivia game show. Perfect.
Do what?
Trivia game show.
Yeah, it'll be trivia of some sort. I'll come up with it. It'll be really cool. I already got some ideas up here in the old noggin, the watermelon brain.
Oh, great
So.
ideas from
Anyway.
Dan. Got great.
Shut up, dude. At least, whatever. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening to the BroTalk podcast. Like I said, I am Dan with Tim and Grant. We thank you very much for watching and or listening. We are only going to have the VOD on Twitch. So twitch.tv/KingServant is where you can find the VOD. Or you can go to YouTube, youtube.com/BroTalk. is where you will be able to find all of the archived, I guess, podcasts. You'll be able to look for them there. When it comes to Spotify, iTunes, Apple, all those fun places, we will not be putting it up yet. We are going to do this for a while and try and figure out what we're going to do about a hosting site in the future. So up until that point, Twitch or YouTube. The time for this is probably going to be around 5 p.m. Pacific time every Tuesday. Subject to change. If you don't know anything about that, or you're like, dude, what does that mean? Go to my Discord, !Discord in the chat, and then I will put it under the schedule. It will start to become part of the schedule. So if you want to know more about it, I'll start posting stuff in there. So there you go. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate your Discord. Man, what a bro. I love Tim. Anyway, like I said, this has been the BroTalk podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. We don't have any outro music, so thank you and goodbye.
Bye.
I don't know. I don't know how we're
safe.
going to end this anyway. So
We'll
Tim,
figure it
stop
out
the
another
recording.
time.
We'll go from there. Anyway,
All right.
yeah.